Good morning, YouTube, and welcome back. If you're subscribing and you're watching this as a rerun, you can skip ahead 17, 18 minutes mark. So just on here early, get everybody hooked up, ready to roll, and all that good stuff. So, yeah, that's the text message about this morning. Jay Berg, dashboard view. How come photos don't show up on my damn phone anymore? Answer me that. Morning, Waylon. I don't get it. I don't understand why it doesn't show up here. Come on. Whoops. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I need a new update. Who knows? There it is. All right. Well, what the hell's going on in your guys' world today? Got that going on? Well, I tell you what. Last week I attempted to have ivermectin without anything mixed in it, and it was the dumbest thing I ever did. And then I see last night as I was scrolling through social media, I ran across an article with a doctor who is claiming that the benefits of ivermectin, and they've been using it to successfully. Now, this is, of course, social media, so who the hell knows, right? But anyway, successfully using ivermectin to kill certain cancer cells, or at least helping restrict the growth of certain cancer cells. True or not, I don't know, but we'll see. Okay. Morning, Eric. 22-foot long. Holy moly. Hey, I seen your post. I seen that, but 22 foot. Good grief. The only thing we have out this way, 22 feet long, is like a big old sand rock, and that would be about it. So, yeah, I chickened out from using ivermectin straight. Now I got to go with the mixing of it. Can't do it. Can't do it straight. What else is going on in the YouTube world out there? Cheers, by the way. Much better. Much better. Next Saturday's show is going to be a cornucopia of stuff. Just a heads up there. It'll be the day after my branding. I don't know who's all going to stay around and be around here, but I'll hook up a few microphones and see who stays the night. And we'll go from there. So I see. It's all 6 plots. Ay. Okay. Now that makes sense. So if you find your own rock that big enough, do you have somebody, Eric, that will do the carving or engraving on the stone itself? I mean, can you I didn't know there were people you could actually take that to. If there is, that's pretty cool. Let me know that. Branding today at the another neighbors, the L double bar branding today. So, yeah. See, it'd be nice if I could teach my cow dog pup to go bring in my horse and put it in where I saddled it up at and have that at least ready. But I doubt she's going to be doing that. So there you go. So I got, let's call my guest, John Arman, up. Yes. The only number I remember.
Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to the YouTube pregame.
How's it going, buddy?
It's going pretty good. You all packed up, ready to go?
I'm trying to. My daughter was not feeling good this last couple of days, so we had to check all that stuff out, make sure she's good to go. I don't want to be up in the middle of nowhere. So she's feeling a little bit under the weather, but not terrible.
She's not craving pickles and ice cream, is she?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope, we're good there. So just packing up the last of things and to get hitting the road inside where I'm on the wind. A nice windy day today.
Yeah, my app says that it's only supposed to be an east wind at 8 miles an hour, and I look at my trees are blowing all over the place this morning. So yeah, it'll be a fun little branding today.
Well, it's going to push me north. So
is it?
Yeah, hopefully
it'll be challenging roping is what it's going to be.
Yeah, you just got to get the wind with your rope, huh?
Yeah, it depends on how they set up the corrals. Usually it's not conducive to that.
Yeah. Well, then the old timer used to tie a couple fishing weights on the end of his rope.
Really?
I don't know, I'm just teasing. It might work.
Never seen that. Just throw a little harder.
Yep. Yep, I hear you there. Trying to get out the door is always a rat race.
Bear hunting again?
Yeah, fishing. Hoping to shoot a bear right away so we can spend a lot of time fishing.
Shelby's really gotten into the fishing side of it, didn't she?
She loves fishing. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could go bear hunting. I had the opportunity to go into a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and I didn't have anybody to cover calving that season, so I was told I can't go.
Yeah, that's the one thing about having cows, man. I'm telling you, it's you're married to them. There's no question about it.
You're not necessarily married to them, but you are during bear season and paddlefish snagging season.
Yep. No, you're right. There's give and take.
Yeah. Dave from Minnesota, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you letting me know here. All right.
But, the prices I've seen are pretty good, aren't they?
They are right now, but will they be there this fall?
Right. Can you contract them?
Oh,
is there any way to do that?
I could, but I don't do that. So my weights fluctuate so much year to year depending on how the grass is.
Yeah.
That I really can't say for sure this is what they're going to weigh. And it's a little bit tougher that way. So.
Yeah.
Scott Bulgy, good morning from the state track meet in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Well, head on over to the Crowbar and have a drink on me here. Good morning from One Shot Cap. Yeah, I'm going to do LRP on my cattle, so that's a livestock risk protection is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Every time I think about it, like now, it's on a weekend and nobody's going to answer my calls anyway to try to get signed up for this thing. So I need to do it.
Yeah, I think everything's closed down. I forgot to go to the bank before my trip.
Get to the ATM and you have to swipe your card 6 different times.
Yeah, I went to visit my brother.
There you go. He's got a stash.
Yeah, in the safe, he carries enough to get a guy through, and I need to start doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt. So the blackberry going after, or what's?
Yep, there'll be color phased up there. It's nice. There's multiple. You get the. I guess a lot of people don't understand that blackberries can be cinnamon, they can be blonde, they can be red, and jet black.
Okay.
But it's a black bear.
Yeah, they're still considered the black bear species size.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep, and it should be good because no one's been hunting because of COVID. Where's the other one pillow?
Where's Dad's pillow?
One thing, number one rule, Scott, when you go on a trip, you don't forget your own pillow. You can forget everything else.
I know. Dixie does the same thing. Everywhere we freaking fly to, she's got to bring her own pillow.
And when I forget it, it's miserable. I can't sleep.
Oh, I don't get that. I can sleep on anything. I usually sleep on my arm.
Oh gosh,
yeah. Station.
My neck is.
Hold on, John. I got to do a time check here. Stations, 7000080s. Coming up here on Mark. 6 minutes of showtime. Okay, sorry, John.
Nope, that's fine. Thank you, honey.
Are the bears rutting this time of year?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll ask that again when we come back on the radio side of things here. But
yeah,
my YouTube guys are already asking. Master John Anderson, good morning from Minnesota. If it wouldn't be for Minneapolis, it'd be a nice state.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of places like that. I'm thinking they may come to that one day.
That the city limits are their own country and let them run themselves without the rest of the rural areas. I like it.
Yeah, you remember the old movie with Kurt Russell called New York? He was Snake Plissken.
I do not remember that. No.
And it's where they put huge walls around New York, one of the cities, because it had gotten so bad, and that's where all the bad people lived. And I'm thinking we might be doing that here pretty soon.
Yeah. Master John says we need to adopt East Dakota. Now it depends on who you talk to. That we'll give that away, and depends on who you talk to there. So like the Fargo-ish area to North Dakota is like Minneapolis is to Minnesota. So just to let you know about that. State baseball is in Sioux Falls on Monday. Okay. Jim Elber says this wind is a pain. Are you fishing, Jim, or what's going on here? Is it really that windy? I didn't know it was that bad, John.
Yeah, I'd say 15 to 20.
Well, that's normal.
True. I thought someone said our wind was average of 10 or 15 miles an hour because it's either 0 or 40.
Yeah, that's probably true too. Oh man! I'm still fighting kidney stones.
Oh, really?
3 Saturdays in a row now, man.
That's gotta stink.
I think they're there to stay until I get them surgically removed, I think.
I've never had those. I've heard they're miserable.
Very miserable. I've never had them last this long here before, but they're right at the size. They say 4 millimeters and up. You can't pass them. Mine are 3.7 is what they told me.
I don't even know why they make you pass them. Why don't they laser? I ain't seen nothing
exactly.
like that. Holy crap.
I think it's a plot from all anybody that's a female nurse or female doctor. They want you to go through pain.
Well, you want to know what pain is? One time I had to have a camera inserted in my you know what?
Yeah.
And it was the most miserable thing. Never again, unless I'm knocked out. Completely knocked out.
Master John says kidney stones, or is your check liver light on? I'll tell you this, I haven't had to worry about my check liver light in 2.5 weeks right now, so I am detoxed except for my shot of ivermectin this morning. Wayne Moose says good morning to us. What happened to your old microphone you had? My old one. Not sure. I've been using this one here for quite some time. So I'm not sure what that means. Levi says it's all the hams I drink that make kidney stones. That is false. I think I know what caused it, but you know, you'll have days like that. It's been a tough spring on me here, John.
It has, huh?
Yeah, it's been a long spring. All right, stations, minute and a half to showtime. Minute 30.
Okay, I'm going to put you down for 1 second so I can say goodbye to my wife.
Sounds
Okay?
good.
Thanks, buddy.
Levi, you coming out next weekend or not here? I need to get a list for food purposes, so let me know. And what you guys need for beds. Morning, Dr. Malik Terrace. Good to see you guys. Oh,
Okay. Passports. Got to think passports, money, bows, equipment. And we're good. Food and all that stuff is extra.
got your shots. Do you got to have shots to get in Canada now, too?
Would I be going?
I don't know. I am. Some people, you know, if I had a once-in-a-lifetime hunting trip, I think I'd risk it.
I wouldn't. I don't know. There's too much information coming out now that
oh boy
is kind of scary. But yeah, I didn't get it, and they opened it up.
Good. All right, stand by, John. We got 15 seconds of showtime. Going blank here. Station standby. 10 seconds going on. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors, heard all across the Dakota Territory on great radio stations, the big dogs like KGFX in Pierre, South Dakota, KOLY Mobridge, Lake Oahe's heart of fishing right there, Bismarck Mandan, KFYR 550, 910 up in Minot at KCJB and 1460 in KLTC land in Dickinson. Good to have you all across the Dakota country here. And not only that, around the world on my YouTube channel. Thank you, everybody that tunes into the pre-show on my YouTube channel, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. John Arman, the man, the myth, the legend, is my guest here again here this morning. Good morning, John. How are you been?
I'm doing good, buddy. How are you?
I'm good. Good. John's with Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV. You can find him all across many streaming platforms. Plus, he will be in the Canadian side of things. Do you have your Canadian lingo on there, eh?
You hoser. I'm straight going north and not coming back for a week until we got something big and hairy and hard to carry.
Bear season is on. Black bear. And you said there's going to be color phase bears. How many bears have you taken already?
I have probably shot 6 or 7 bears over the years. You know, when we go up there, we're trying to shoot the biggest bear possible. So sometimes we come home with nothing, but
yeah,
it's one of those deals that shooting a black bear isn't, I would say, real difficult. It's a lot of fun, the amount of work that goes into it. But shooting, you know, when you're looking at like a booner or on the upper end of the bears, it's like shooting a 180-inch deer. It doesn't happen very often.
So what is a Boone and Crockett bear? How big does the skull have to be on that?
I think they're like 21 inches somewhere in there. And a Pope and Young is like 19.
And how's the measurements go on that? I've never been bear hunting. I've been offered to go bear hunting. I've never been a chance to do that.
You know, Wayne can chime in because he's the official scorer, but I want to say you measure from like the nose to the back and then from side, like ear to ear.
Okay.
Added together. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah. Have you had one that made the books yet?
I have made Pope and Young, not Boone and Crockett.
All right. And do you eat? Is there? I heard that bear tastes a lot like the pork side of things. Is that true?
Well, I don't know if it tastes like pork, but you got to cook it like pork because of the trichinosis. You know, I would say The bear roasts are really good. A lot of guys make it, and a lot of guys throw it away, which I just don't agree with.
No.
And we'll make sausage out of it. Or I'll make jerky out of it. There's a lot of things you can make out of it. You just got to make sure you cook it like pork.
Yeah. Wayne did pipe in here. He says Pope and Young is 18 inches width and length measurement is what you got there. So there you go. We already have that constituted here. Another message comes in, says, are bears in rut this time of season?
Yes, this is the time the boars will start walking around looking for the sows, and that's what a guy is hoping for. Is you get if you sit on a bait that's got a sow, you hope that she'll bring in a big boar, but they'll go through rut all the way into the second week of June, from what I've seen. Because I think a lot of the guides that I have been with said, honestly, some of the biggest bears they take are themselves when the clients are gone, and when the season is kind of winding down, like in that June 7th to the 14th time.
Okay. And now let's go into this situation. A lot of people throw out donuts or breads or any kind of pastries for bear.
Yep.
All right.
They'll eat anything.
All right. So baiting. That's probably one of the easiest way. Not easy, okay, because I've never done it. It's probably one of the most used ways of hunting bear, right? I mean, no matter what size or what species of bear you're hunting, this is what they do. And are people for it in Canada? Are they against it? What's the baiting situation when it's bear hunting things going on there?
Well, like everything in the world today, it gets political, and I want to say Quebec shut down their spring bear hunts because of the sows and stuff. So it was a little bit of the political. But up in Canada, if you didn't bait bears, it'd be pretty tough to kill them. Some of the areas like British Columbia and places where they where they have logging roads and stuff, you can do some spot and stock. Alaska, you go along the coastlines and things, which is something I would really like to do. But up in Canada, the majority of the bears are taking over baits. There's other places I think that you go, they use hounds. I think, another way to take bears, just because, they're a pretty, I don't know the word reclusive. They're back in the bush, and it's not like they come out like deer do in the meadows and things like that you see all the time, because a lot of the places they're at is some pretty gnarly country. So without bait, it'd be tough to kill them.
And that's the thing. It depends on the country you're in, right? I mean, if it's heavily wooded areas, I mean, even like bear hunting in Minnesota, I'm guessing they do a little bit of baiting that way too.
Yes, and Minnesota is one of the places, again, that they do the fall bear hunt. They don't do a spring bear hunt.
Okay.
And I'm sure it has something to do with accidentally shooting sows with cubs, but it's pretty hard to do, because most of the time when a bear comes in, you let them come in, let them get comfortable. If it's a sow, sometimes they'll have their cubs hang off for just a little bit, and then they'll come running in, because she wants to make sure it's other bear free, because a boar will go in and kill the cubs to put the sow back into heat.
Oh, okay.
So it can get pretty aggressive and pretty gnarly when you got a sow and cubs in there and a boar comes in.
So when you're hunting them, are you using archery equipment? Are you using a rifle, tannerite? What are you using here?
You can use pretty much a rifle or a bow. We archery hunt just because, to me, bears are made to archery hunt. I know a good friend of ours, Chad, is up in Saskatchewan right now, and he's using the crossbow. So, any weapon that you prefer can be used. But again, for us, we love bow hunting.
And you see a lot of people, I was told that, they put these baits out in barrels, and some of them are like either 30 or 50 gallon barrels. And the reason, and correct me if I'm wrong, is because then you can size up the barrel, the bear to the barrel, to know how big they are, because sometimes, they look bigger than they are.
Yeah, bears are very difficult to judge. I have shot, the place I'm going now, I shot a bear. Last time I was with Kurt, we had like 9 different bears coming in and out, and it was like crazy. We had bears coming in fighting, and I thought I had a boar that came in, looked like a nice, wasn't a giant boar, but a good boar. I ended up shooting it, and when we walked up to it, I was like, whose bear is that? Because I'm like, mine's bigger, and here it ended up being one of the older sows on the baits. They called her the hell bitch because she was such a nasty bear. But again, not if you don't look at the 50-gallon, and the rule is if their back is not at the top of the barrel, 50-gallon drum, if they're not at the top of the barrel, they're not a big bear. If they're, third rung, or three-quarters of the way up, they're a good bear. But you'll want to talk yourself into it every time. But if you want a good bear, they got to be up there. And then you got to look at the head. It's like almost having a cowboy hat. If your cowboy hat can fit between his ears type deal, or a ball cap, you're looking for smaller ears. The smaller ears, usually the bigger the head.
Okay.
Younger bears will come in and they got bigger ears. The swagger to them, the way they walk, they'll have a big chest versus a female that has kind of a pear shape where they're slender up front and bigger in the back. So it's tough.
Yeah.
I got to say, Shelby's pretty good at judging, because I've tried to talk her into bears. She goes, "It's little dad." And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Too little dad." So she's pretty good at it.
All right. Well, coming up here against our first break, John Arman is with us here talking bear hunting in Canada. And when we talk about bear hunting, we're not talking about going to Target. We'll be back right after these messages.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've gone along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. From remote deposit options to online mortgage applications, we are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty invites you to the next equipment auction. Go to Pfeiffer's.com and check out the 2023 Sioux Falls Construction and Transportation Auction out of Worthing, South Dakota, Wednesday, May 31st. The Dr. Jill Rowan Farm Retirement Auction out of Shields, North Dakota, will be held on Wednesday, June 7th. And the timed online Upper Midwest Auction is going to be Tuesday, June 13th. For more information or to bid online, go to Pfeiffer's.com. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty invites you to the next equipment auction. Go to Pfeiffer's.com and check out the 2023 Sioux Falls Construction and Transportation Auction out of Worthing, South Dakota, Wednesday, May 31st. The Dr. Jill Rowan Farm Retirement Auction out of Shields, North Dakota, will be held on Wednesday, June 7th. And the timed online Upper Midwest Auction is going to be Tuesday, June 13th. For more information or to bid online, go to Pfeiffer's.com.
As an independent insurance agency, Dakota Community Insurance partners with leading insurance companies to offer products that are designed around you and your farm insurance needs. As a leader in farm and ranch insurance, we can help you to minimize the risk to you and your operation, including farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. Stop into your local branch to visit with our insurance agent or visit dakotacommunitybank.com. You can rely on us when nature strikes. Dakota Community Insurance.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is Dakota Prairie Outdoors, the Saturday edition. Going on 2 decades strong already here. John Arman and Shelby Arman from Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV's on the phone line here, headed to Canada doing some bear hunting. And I don't know, John, I already got a text message about my Target comment. I think I might be in a little trouble here today. Uh-oh, we lost John Arman here. We got to go here. Hold on. Are you back with us here, John?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Did you hang up or did
Okay,
I hang up on you?
No, it hung up. I lost you in a spot that sometimes is dead by the airport, but then all of a sudden it was like nothing. And then I called back and
Did you know that the airport has cell phone signal blockers around the airport? Did you know that?
well, I'm thinking that's what it is because every time I go by there, that's what happens.
I just said when I came back after the break, I said I might be in trouble. I already got a text message about my Target comment that I made.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, did you know that? Remember a couple of years ago when I was posting a lot of things about my Black Angus cattle and calling it Black Lives Matter?
Yep.
I have a cease and desist order that from the actual Black Lives Matter organization. I
think you could start doing it again because they're going bankrupt. They've lost every dollar that was donated to them, and they're in trouble.
If they're going bankrupt, then they're going to really come after me and do that route. So, yeah, I don't know about that. Anyway, are you ready for some questions and comments about bear hunting in Canada that people have for you? A lot of folks are texting me here on YouTube. You can do that. You can text me at 701-425-6651. You can also call in live on the show. One of the very few live radio programs still left in the radio side of things on the weekend. 888-932-5682. That's 888-9-DAKOTA. First one is Levi says, you just shoot the first bear and then head south for my branding.
Levi who? I thought his branding was like the 7th.
My branding.
Your branding.
My
branding. Yes.
Next Friday.
Yep, one shot. I might make it there for the drinks.
That's fine. One Shot Cap says, hey, John, what else can you hunt this time of year in Canada? Is there anything else, or is it just bear season?
I think you can get a wolf tag.
I'd be all
in
over
some
that.
of the provinces, because I can't remember who was telling me that they were going to pick up one because they had, even in Idaho, I think it is, Easton Holders out there was doing spot and stock. And the guy had said something about getting that wolf tag out in Idaho even. So I think you can in certain places. But other than that, we go up there, we're on a lake, so we do a lot of fishing. It's a great place to go fishing. That's where we actually fished there first before we bear hunted.
So what are we fishing? Lake trout? What's the fish of choice here? Species?
Well, Mike, our buddy that likes to go with, likes lake trout, but there's northerns, there's walleyes, and there's lake trout. So, we should have hit it perfect because the ice has been off for a couple weeks and it's warmed up, and the fishing is usually like phenomenal.
When you get, is it usually guided, or do you guys just shore fish, or how does this work in Canada? I mean, give us
Well,
give us
yeah.
like it is here in the Lake Oahe. Either you have your own boat or you hire somebody to take you out. What do you do?
Well, the guy we go with is an older gentleman, and he's got a boat up there if you want. What the other guys are going to be using, I'm hauling our boat up. And no, honey, I'm going to this one. And the the ticket is if you go up to a place that you haven't, I would hire a guide, but you got to be careful because sometimes you're hiring guides that aren't real reliable, but most of the time you get a good local guide. And if they show you around the lake one time or go up with a buddy, because there's a lot of big rocks up there and it's a big lake. But we've been up there so many years that the guy we fish with knows the lake by heart, and we've got it all on our Lowrance and on our GPSs. So you go back to the same bays every year, and you really don't have to go that far, from camp. We used to run all the way across the lake, but you really can go, a mile or two away and catch fish. So it's pretty amazing. We've had 100 fish, 200 fish days, and we've had 0 fish days. So you just never know.
So I talked to Kurt and Jason about this, for a couple of years now, and folks that go up there and they hunt whitetail deer or anything else, it seems like the deer are bigger, the fish are bigger. Why is it? Why does Canada have bigger species than we have here in the Dakota Territory?
I'm not sure. I think it takes a big animal to survive up there in some of that country, and I don't know if it has anything to do with the less pressure they have. And the lakes up there, the colder water, I don't know. I don't know about the fish, with the growing season. I just know the deer up there can be giants, as far as body wise. And I think it's, they're built tough up there because they got to be to survive.
So is that true for the locals in the watering hole up there too? Are they built a little tougher?
I'm telling you, one of the guys we go up with, Dean Sleva from Spirit Creek Outfitters, runs a great operation. And he'll be driving that Argo, and I'll be sitting behind him, and his shoulders take up from one side to the other side. He's an ex-hockey player. He doesn't say much, but it's fun going into a bar with him.
Big boy.
Yeah, he's a big boy. Great guy.
Yeah. Well, fishing on that, do you do fish in the same style as they do down this way, or you pitch jigs, pull some Lindy rigs, same style, or what's the scooped up that way?
Yeah, we pretty much do the same thing. We'll pitch jigs with plastics on them. A lot of those guys up there, I remember one time we went up there and a guy said, you got to use number 12 MEPS in 20 feet of water. You can't catch walleyes in shallow. Well, we went into shallow, of course, with Kurt and Jason, had some Berkeley Gulp on there. And we come back and we had hammered the fish. The next year we came there, the guy, his whole shelf was full of rubber plastic bait by Berkeley Gulp and Strike King and stuff like that. So we do a lot of casting for, with lures. I have a black and white lure that barely has any color on it because it's been my favorite one over the years. So Shelby got a bunch of stuff from Strike King, and she's excited about putting it to use up there, some big spinner baits and things like that. So you just, one year I threw everything, and I had the old Budweiser can lure that was shaped like a Budweiser can, and I caught a fish on every lure I had, and I threw that out, and I caught a fish on that. So, so it can be good. Yeah. But I'm thinking right now, if I threw the Bud Light one out there, I probably wouldn't do very well.
Well, you might catch a different species of fish there. It might be more of an eel side of things. Hey, going back to the bear side of things, a question comes in, says, are the bear pelts prime this time of year coming out of hibernation?
Yes, they are. They're
really,
in the fall you get beautiful ones. The younger bears sometimes will be rubbed, but we've never had problems with big bears being rubbed. And this is the majority of the bears are shot this time of year.
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting, when you look at different territories, northern get up further up to the north, it's way different than it is here in the southern side of the border side. So, and even going down to Texas, you look down there, I don't think there's a prime coyote in the entire state once you head past south of Nebraska. So, but that's why they're always hunting up in this area for the pelts. Same thing with bear, I suppose, that way. And have you ever been a different species of bear hunting, John, besides just black bear?
Nope, we've never gotten the opportunity. I was talking to someone. I said You know, the Alaskan brown bear and grizzly bear to me is such a majestic animal. I'm going to sound a little bit wimpy on this, but I would sometimes struggle shooting one just because they're so majestic and so big. But I would love to go on a hunt, and I would probably do it. It would be a once in a lifetime hunt. And doing it with archery equipment, if you've ever watched some of those hunts, I watched Cameron Haynes take one. He had a video on it, and he thought he made a perfect shot, and they went in after it. And he's never, ever, had to kill an animal with a rifle, and his guide had to shoot it.
Yeah.
Because it was charging him, and it was at 10 feet before the guide shot it. So a little bit different style hunting there.
Well, when you look at the size of a grizzly, I mean, I would expect that you have to have a little bit of backup power that way too. But anyway, we're up against our half-hour break here. Stand by, John. We'll be back more. John, Arman, and Shelby's headed up. They're in the pickup right now, or trucks, if you want to call them that, headed to Canada, going bear hunting, fishing, all that good stuff. Questions, comments, you can send them my way, 701-425-6651 if you want to text them. We're live chatting on the YouTube channel right now. Plus, you can get a live call in. 888-932-5682 is the toll-free number. That's 888-9-DAKOTA. Back after these.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've gone along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. From remote deposit options to online mortgage applications, we are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty invites you to the next equipment auction. Go to Pfeiffer's.com and check out the 2023 Sioux Falls Construction and Transportation Auction out of Worthing, South Dakota, Wednesday, May 31st. The Dr. Jill Rowan Farm Retirement Auction out of Shields, North Dakota will be held on Wednesday, June 7th. And the timed online Upper Midwest Auction is going to be Tuesday, June 13th. For more information or to bid online, go to Pfeiffer's.com. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton. Pfeiffer's Auction and Realty invites you to the next equipment auction. Go to Pfeiffer's.com and check out the 2023 Sioux Falls Construction and Transportation Auction out of Worthing, South Dakota, Wednesday, May 31st. The Dr. Jill Rowan Farm Retirement Auction out of Shields, North Dakota will be held on Wednesday, June 7th. And the timed online Upper Midwest Auction is going to be Tuesday, June 13th. For more information or to bid online, go to Pfeiffer's.com.
As an independent insurance agency, Dakota Community Insurance partners with leading insurance companies to offer products that are designed around you and your farm insurance needs. As a leader in farm and ranch insurance, we can help you to minimize the risk to you and your operation, including farm equipment, livestock, farm buildings, and crops. Stop into your local branch to visit with our insurance agent or visit dakotacommunitybank.com. You can rely on us when nature strikes. Dakota Community Insurance.
At Dakota Community Bank and Trust, that's what we do.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It's Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition, continuing through the live and local right here, right now. John Arman, Shelby Arman is with me here as well, as they're headed to Canada going after some bear hunting side of things. Now, I had a text message come in. John, a quick question for you. Ask John if Shelby is napping already.
Nope, she's not. She's usually she will be. I guarantee you that. She's the king of naps.
All right, yeah, that's a 605 number that asked here, so I'm pretty sure you know who that is. But Shelby, how the heck have you been, my resident Black Hills lady hunting now? So how's things going in the Hill City area of Black Hills?
It's going very well. I love it out there. Moved out there in September, but growing up, I'm familiar with the area because we always took vacations. We didn't go to Florida or Disney World. We went to Montana and the Black Hills, so it's a treat to be able to live in such a beautiful place.
All right, so you used to vacation there. Now you're living there. You're a resident, and you can take all sorts of the hunting privileges that South Dakota offers, including mountain lion hunting. And was it your boyfriend, or I don't know your relationship there, but you guys took some cats this winter, didn't you?
Yes, we did. So my boyfriend Connor killed a cat. He was the first one to kill one, and I was at work, so I got to celebrate it after work. And then his buddy Dawson killed a cat with Connor. Him and him, they both killed a cat together. And then Connor's little brother Caden killed a cat at the end of the season, right before they had to leave for their Total Archery Challenge tour. So it was a good year for cats for the clan, for sure.
Absolutely. You said like South Dakota, they have a limit of 60 cats, or when the first 40 female get taken. It's been quite a few years since they've reached their quota on that, but there's a lot of cats in the Black Hills, isn't there? I mean, for every one you see, there's probably another 10 that you don't see.
Oh yeah, for sure. We've had it in the wintertime, just across the driveway, waking up, there'll be fresh tracks. Like they run across the driveway. One of his buddies was leaving at, I would say, around 8:30, 9 at night this March. And so it was dark out, but he called us and they were just leaving, heading back towards Hill City. And a cat jumped down from the little cliff on the side of the road and ran across in front of them. So we ended up tracking that cat the next day, but led to a dead end. So,
yeah. So what do you do with the cats? I mean, how many has your boyfriend taken over the years? And do you utilize I've had mountain lion. We have it every fall at the Baker Wild Game Feed in Baker, Montana. I like it. Does the family eat this here, or what do you do with them?
I think they do eat it this year. So Connor's only killed one cat. He killed his first cat this year. His dad killed one in the years past, and his brother in the years past. So, this year, I think we just still have it frozen. I know they're getting Connor's getting a rug made, and his brother is getting a little like half sneak shoulder mount almost done from a guy. So it'll be pretty interesting. But I think the meat's still in the freezer, and I think for one of these days we'll probably throw it in the crock pot. But I have heard it's very good. I personally have never tried it, but looking forward to it.
Yeah, no, it is good. I think you're going to like that. Now, take us through. Are you deer hunting the Black Hills here? Are you getting some elk hunting in? What's the scoop here?
Well, we just had all the tags. I put in for all the elk tags, Custer, early archery, all those good elk tags, but didn't draw since it's my first year. But I did put in for some deer tags. I can get a bow tag. Rifle hunting, maybe one tag or so. And then this last spring, I've killed 3 turkeys now. So I had a good turkey season. But yeah, looking forward to antelope too. I know antelope for non-resident, they kind of changed it. So
yeah, they did.
There should be less pressure up in the areas that we kind of antelope opening weekend due to that. So it should be good this year. We're already seeing deer starting to pop up, and one deer actually was like splitting off like some brow tines already. So
Nice.
pretty nice to see that.
I see that the non-resident archery, public and private land here, the application date ending was May 25th, so I missed out on that here. But on online application dates for South Dakota muzzleloader deer season and apprentice and mentored are coming up here on May 30th, including the Black Hills online application dates open on May 30th. So you'll be able to get in on those too here in the South Dakota side of things. So ready to rock and roll. So going fishing. That's your thing. You're like, I know you like the fishing more than your dad does. So how excited are you to get up to Canada and get some big walleye?
I'm super excited. I mean, it's been about 3 years with, we had COVID hit, which was whatever. And then I graduated hygiene school last year. So I was in the middle of taking clinical boards and taking my written boards and graduating and moving back from Sheridan. So the last 3 years just haven't worked out. So I'm pretty pumped to get back. I got work off all week. So we're headed up there, and I feel like it's been forever. I look at some photos and I'm like, wow, I look young.
No. So you graduated. You're a dental hygienist. You drive to Rapid City every day?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yep, I'm a dental hygienist. I work on the south side of town, closer to the hills. So it takes about 35, 40 minutes. I'm excited that school is over now, so I don't have to deal with the traffic.
Now you just gotta deal with the tourists. So there you go.
Yeah, tourists aren't bad in the morning, but this time of the year is nice if people from North Dakota want to go out there, and even residents from South Dakota across the state, because it's not overpacked with tourists yet. I mean, there's a little flow, but it's not as crazy, and you don't have to wait for much. But I pass tourists on my way home for sure.
Yeah.
There is a lot.
And during the bike rally, how fun is that for driving?
Well, I haven't really. I think I was down there for it last year, but yeah, it gets a little crazy. You got to be very careful.
So
better to not really be out. A lot of locals leave during the rally because they hate it so much.
Yeah. So when is Shelby Arman going to have the Ultimate Outdoor Adventures Harley Davidson tricked out here going hunting on the Harley?
Oh, I don't think that will ever happen. I couldn't even get a dirt bike when I was little.
Well, you don't have to ask your dad's permission anymore. This is the nice thing.
Yeah.
God, there's a reason I'm still alive, and that's because my father never gave me a bike when I was a kid, because I would be dead.
Oh, come on now. There's always safety classes you can take on that. So
I'm not worried about me. It's the other guy.
Yeah. So your dad's in the North Dakota side, you're in the South Dakota side, Shelby, and now you're going to have to work with non-resident tags back and forth. Now, I mean, you guys have done it before, but now you're going to have to worry about that. I mean, you're not going to be able to get your archery tag in the North Dakota side as easy as it used to be.
Yeah, I know. It'll be kind of interesting, but we'll make the best of it. And I do a lot of hunting. The boys, the Rockhouse boys are crazy and always running around, so it's always an adventure and never a dull moment. So I won't be missing out on much hunting, but
yeah.
I'd like to get back.
What we did, Scott, is what we have to do. So for archery, we're okay. You know, if she wants to hunt mule deer in North Dakota, she's got to apply, but we're still lucky.
Right.
We can over the counter as long as that stays. But we went through, I worked the system a little bit. She's a non-resident, so I have a friend that is an outfitter, and we were able to get Shelby an outfitter tag for North Dakota for rifle, because I think it's kind of silly. This is my own opinion, that I have 2,000 acres and have a daughter who's probably going to take over the ranch someday, and she cannot hunt on that anymore living in South Dakota. So we just used what they had and made sure it was good with our local warden, and I let her know, because we know how people are. As soon as they see Shelby shoot a deer and she lives in South Dakota, we've already been turned in to make sure that Shelby is a legal resident of South Dakota. So it's funny that there are people, and I'm waiting to hear on people just have nothing better to do than to turn in other people because they think that they're doing the wrong thing, you know, and it's like, holy cow.
Yeah. Get a life, man. There's other things to worry about in life than that, isn't there? I mean, but on the other hand, being able to be a resident in South Dakota, now the Ultimate Outdoors television show can expand into the Black Hills probably on a more consistent basis.
Yeah, I'm thinking so. So if Connor Brockhouse, if you ever hear this recording, I would expect a couple of invites down there for some hunts, and I do expect you to run the camera for my daughter every time. Even if you're not going to use the footage, I need the footage. So Connor Brockhouse, that is to you and only to you, my friend.
As the dad saying that straight to you, guess what? Yeah, you're going to have to run the camera. Well, okay. So headed to Canada, take us through going across the border as I'm going to say this, you're a film crew. You know, you might be filming each other, but you're still a film crew. Do they have different rules and regulations? Like if you want to film in Montana, you got to pay certain fees and all that.
You know, it's kind of crazy how things work with this. The first time we went across, Kurt, Jason, and I think we were fine. And then the next time we went across, we had a young kid that stopped us, and he said we couldn't go across because we were taking jobs away from Canadians, and we needed to have film permits, and we needed to be invited by the province, and we had no idea about this. As a matter of fact, they really didn't know, so we kind of researched it. We were 6 hours at the border. We ended up getting across because we had to wake a mayor up to get an invite. So we have to be invited by the community that we're come to hunt. We usually get a letter from from tourism on an invite, and then as long as it's only a couple people, if we go more than 3 people, then it's considered something different. So there are rules and regulations that we have to follow. And, you know, we were flagged at one time, and I think 12 years later, I went through a different border that I don't usually go through. And we sat there for 3 hours once again, because they were like, well, you guys were flagged one time. And I'm like, that was 12 years ago. But they take it like, yeah, I can tell you this, going through Mexico this year was a heck of a lot easier than going through Canada sometimes.
You know, how are they saying you're taking jobs away? And, you know, the hunting industry across the United States and across Canada is probably, third or fourth most income brought into the areas, especially in Canada. I mean, they're known for great hunting. And if you draw a line from the top of the North Dakota border, and you use that parallel across the entire side of North America, what did they say? Over 50 or 60% of the Canadians live south of that line, down around the Great Lakes and whatever. Everything north, it's very, very sparse. So how are they saying you're taking jobs away? I don't understand that.
Well, we didn't understand it either. It got to the point where Kurt was like, he was getting pretty frustrated with him. But, you know, I don't know. You're supposed to hire Canadians, you know, to run your cameras or whatever. And again, the tourism understands all that, because they write a nice letter saying that we're bringing people to Canada. And since COVID, there's a big push for it, because they lost, I would say, billions of dollars when they shut down the borders, because there wasn't many hunters. I know where we're going, there wasn't anybody. Because, you know, you think about it, a lot of the hunters are like me, and they're conservative, and they probably didn't get the shot. So, you know, things have changed a little bit. We're thankful that we get to go back across, because it was one of our favorite trips.
Yeah, it's amazing how they shut their own borders down, you know, off of that little scare, and now they're paying for it here, and Maybe they'll be a little bit nicer. It'd be fun. Do you video when you go through the border, or are they kind of against that?
They're against it. I video all the way up to it. I try to video as much as possible. I've asked to videotape them. They don't want to be videoed.
Really? That's too bad.
And I'm not going to push it like the guys on YouTube and say, this is public, this is public. No, I'm putting my camera down. Because those guys can rape and pillage you. They can keep you there forever. Oh, yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah, they found it when I crossed the border one time. They found a shotgun shell and like wedged in the back seat of my vehicle, like really, really wedged in there. And holy moly, it was the end of the world there, John. It was pretty tough. But anyway, we got about 4 minutes here until we have to say goodbye to you guys and let you put the hammer down a little bit harder. Bear hunting. Wayne says he wished he was going with you guys. He thinks bear hunting, he said, it's fun and relaxing. So do you guys use tree stands? Do you use ground blinds, or what do you do?
We will use whatever we can. A lot of times, some of the stands we've sat in are pretty sketchy because they build the old triangle wood stands up there, but we carry along our hawks. Yeah, we carry along our hawk stands and hang them just for safety. And there's times that if the wind is wrong, you sit on the ground because big bears are not stupid. And if they smell you, they always know you're there because they look at you almost every time. And that can be fun because sometimes they will come up to see who you are or what you're doing there. So it adds a little excitement to it.
Well, I've seen videos of that where bears climb up the tree right next to you on the stand. And have you had that happen?
Yes, I've had cubs next to us, which is not a good thing.
No.
We've had smaller, like, maybe 75-pound, 2-year-old bears that are just kicked out. And we've had big bears, like 250 pounds, right underneath our stand where you could pop them in the nose with your arrow.
So what do? You just let them sit there and do their thing, or you?
Yeah, usually they'll crawl up and look at you, and then you just say, hey, bear. And when we've sat on the ground, I've had them within 5 feet. The only thing between you is a couple of those scrub bushes, and they just kind of look through because they're curious on who you are or what you're doing there. And sometimes I know Randy Birdsong, he was trying to get epic footage, and he did. The bear charged him, and they stood up at the same time as the bear hit his kind of brush line. He stood up and yelled at the bear, and then the bear turned and ran. But it was pretty intense because it doesn't take a 300-pound bear to rip you apart. A 100-pound bear can do the same.
So they're more interested in the bait that they have now. I heard that like jelly donuts are a good bait for bear. Is that true?
Yeah, they like sweets. They're still their favorite is beaver. It's something. We've used beaver that have been in a barrel for a year that are like stinky, just fermented, bleh. And they'll sit there and gnaw on those things. And we put them in cages so they can't rip them apart. And they'll work on that cage forever. And that's what we do with the 50-gallon drums. There's probably holes maybe the size of a 50-cent piece in them. So they roll the barrel around trying to get the oats and grease out. Oats and grease is kind of one of the main things. You put the grease on the ground, they step in that grease, and when they leave a scent trail, and then they come back to it. But Spirit Creek has like Skittles, cashews, oats, donuts, whatever. They'll eat anything. They got a sweet tooth.
I was just curious if, like, while you're sitting there and if you had no action for like 2 or 3 hours and you got hungry, I was just wondering if you went over and snuck a jelly donut out of the barrel once in a while.
Well, we have eaten some of the stuff we've come across, but I'll tell you what, Blair from Spirit Creek will tell you, don't eat the cashews because he got sick bad because they look like they're perfect, and he took a handful of them and he got pretty sick.
Oh, man. That's well, I wish you guys the best of luck here, and keep us up to date and text message, see what's going on here, and have a little bit of fun and get across the border safely, have fun fishing and all that good stuff. So 60 seconds left. Anything you want to tell people about ideas on getting across the border if they're going that way?
Just do everything, read ahead what you have to have. You got to have your passport. Don't have anything illegal in your, because like I said, you can have a shotgun shell. Make sure you go through your truck, because they don't know.
Yeah.
And if they find a shotgun shell or a cartridge or something, they're going to strip search you thinking you got a gun or whatever. And you can take your gun across. You just got to fill out the forms beforehand. and it costs a few dollars. But with the archery equipment, they don't bother.
Nice. Well, I tell you what, someday, if maybe I can get somebody to calve during this season or go to all the brandings, and I can go out bear hunting one of these times. So maybe next year, John, you can come down and help out at the ranch, and I'll go to Canada.
No, what we'll do is Levi Nelson volunteer. I just got a text from him. He said that he will take care of your cattle while you get to go bear hunting with me.
Perfect. That works out good. I'll let him line everything up for brandings too. That'll work out just great. So yeah.
Yeah, now my phone's gonna blow up.
Yeah, him and Wayne are coming down next week to come down for branding, so they're going to come down and enjoy the Badlands Roundup is what they're going to do.
Yeah, well, if we kill early, we're going to try to make it.
Well, that sounds good. That sounds good. All right, John, thanks so much. Have yourself a safe drive and enjoy, my friend.
Thank you.
You bet. Thanks, Shelby. Thank you. Appreciate you on there too. So we'll get in touch with her and about Black Hills hunting here as the year rolls along here, getting into hunting season this fall. Hey, make sure to check out my website, DakotaPrairieOutdoors.com. We're under a little bit of a reboot right now, and we're reconstructing it. So you can listen to any one of these fine radio stations and catch my afternoon program or morning program, depending on when they play it. Eat some meat, drink some milk, have fun, drive safe, and we'll see you at the branding here in 10 minutes. All right, stations, thank you so much. Appreciate everything you guys do and supporting me. YouTube, thank you guys as well. I got to go catch a horse and get rolling here. Catch you later.